to be telling you something about a treat. And the treat requires just 2 ingredients, or possibly 3. You probably realise by now that I do like to do things that are very uncomplicated because they have a very quick result, and I think that's what everybody wants at the moment. They want a little bit of cheering up. So here's what I'm going to make. I am going to make some chocolates. It may well be that you have chocolates at home. We don't anymore because our favourite chocolates used to come from a place that we're not shopping at, because we're not going out shopping at all. And the other thing is, nobody's bringing chocolates. That's the worst thing of being at home. You don't get any chocolates anymore. So here's what I decided to make. I've got a little pot here from something I used to have, and here are some little dark chocolate treats. And these are going to be made with just the 2 ingredients, dark chocolate and cream. So I'm about to show you how to do it. I mentioned cream, and there's 2 kinds you can use. You can use fresh single cream, don't need double cream for this, or you can use this, which is a soya cream. It's called Alpro Single, and it is very good. And surprisingly, it's hard to tell the difference when it's mixed in with the dark chocolate that it's not cream, because it has a nice creamy taste. So basically this is what we do. We're going to melt some chocolate, mix it with the cream, and then we're going to freeze it. And I'll show you the different processes. First of all, here is plain dark chocolate. You don't need to use the 70% amazing best chocolate. You need to get a good one, which doesn't have a high sugar content though. So there is the chocolate. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to melt it. And the best way of melting it is to do it in the microwave. You can do it in the way that you like. If you prefer to do it on the hob over simmering water, that's fine. But my preferred method is simply to put it in a bowl and put it into the microwave for a very short time. A block like that will take less than a minute. Don't do it too long because you can burn chocolate. So then what are we going to do? You stir it. When it's stirrable and pourable, it's absolutely ready. So now I'm going to do something which is just fun. You pour the cream into the chocolate and you start to mix the 2 together. And I don't know if you can see, but it's starting to make a sort of marbled pattern. And I'll come a bit nearer so you can see what it's looking like. And extraordinarily, as you do this, it thickens. Instead of getting thinner, it just gets thicker. So you pour the cream in and you keep on stirring quite vigorously like that. There we are. I did weigh these out quite carefully because the simple thing about this recipe is you need exactly the same weight of chocolate as cream. And so here we are. I am mixing it all up very carefully. There we are. And it is now ready. Now what are we going to do with it? One simple thing, freeze it. We're going to pour it into a container. So the best way to do that is by pouring it first into something which has a little lip on it. And I'm going to put all this mixture into this bowl, which is easy to pour. There we go. There we are. And then you just lift it up and you pour it into ice cube container. And you pour lots and lots of them. It would be slightly easier to do it if I weren't holding the thing with one hand and pouring with the other, but it's easy to do. There we are. Just show you how it goes. There it is. Now, there is one other thing you can do. You can add something else. So I had a little bit more of the chocolate in here, which I'm going to put into this one. There we are. And I'm going to add the rest of the cream that I had, pouring all that in, and a little bit of vigorous stirring is needed to mix the cream in again. And with this one, I'm going to add a little bit of liqueur. have in your cupboard that you like will work with this. If you like whiskey, or if you like Armanier or Cointreau, any of these things will work. I've got very little in the cupboard actually, and what I found was a bottle of Kahlua. This is a coffee flavoured liqueur, and it's so long since I've had it, I actually forget what it tastes like. But I poured out a little liqueur glass, and I'm going to pour that into the chocolate. And I'm going to stir it around, makes it a little bit less thick, but don't forget it's all going to be frozen. So here we go. We can fill up this one with it, but in order to make sure that they're separate and we don't get them muddled up, I've got another idea. This is a container that used to have chocolates in it, and for some reason I kept it. I kept it because I thought it was rather pretty because it has these little indentations. And now I've suddenly had the idea that what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up with the chocolate liqueur mixture, and I'm going to put them into the freezer. This will make about 8 or 9 chocolates, I think. I'm just spooning the last bit in, and then I'll show you. Here it is, the chocolate container, and that will go in the freezer. So, I hope you like it. I would like to show you the finished ones, and if you hang on 1 minute, I'll have a look in the freezer and see if the ones I did before are frozen. Back in a minute. I promised to show you what they would look like when they come out of the freezer. So here they are. This is actually a different one from the one I did before, but it's just to show you what they look like. They are now frozen, and the way to deal with them is just to get them out with a knife. You just poke the knife all around the corner, and then they will lift out easily. These ones are just about frozen, but I have to tell you that you can also eat them in their not completely frozen state. My preference is to try not to eat more than 4 at a time, but I don't know about you. I would like to tell you one other thing. If you don't want to do them in ice cube trays and you want a slightly more fancy presentation, you can do them like this, which are little piped rounds. The mixture is exactly the same. And what you do is you put it into a forcing container like this, like a little forcing bag. It gets a bit messy, but you put the chocolate mixture in there and then press it down and then twirl it out onto those little rounds. And those, or any of these small things, you can put them into tiny paper cases. That's a sort of fancy way of serving them. But what I prefer to do is just to find a box and to put them in a box. I'm lucky we have lots of boxes because I'm a little bit of a hoarder, so I keep boxes from chocolates. So here's a nice one, and here is another one. And of course, there's no chocks in them. But here is the finished product of what we made today. And there they are, the liqueur chocks and the other ones in a very nice little box. And those 6 will be eaten very quickly. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I would like you to try it. You've got very little to lose. Bye-bye.